Foxconn, the biggest company you've never heard of, is an electronics manufacturing company in China that is responsible for over 50% of the world's technological gadgets. Foxconn's biggest campus, Longhao, holds 15 factories. This one campus stretches well over a mile, and its largest factory holds up to 450,000 workers. That's almost 3 times the population of Savannah, Georgia.
Not only are these workers crammed at their workstations, but over half of the Foxconn employees live on campus, where 7 people are forced to live in 12 by 12 cement blocks with toddler-sized beds. But living conditions are not the worst thing about Foxconn. Harsh working conditions have pushed 16 employees to jump out factory windows, committing suicide. 20 others have attempted. Foxconn's response to this issue was simply putting up suicide nets around the factory.
The common workday in America is 8 hours. Foxconn workers' shortest day lasts 12. These 12-hour shifts consist of little to no breaks and about $2 pay a day, if lucky, while compared to the American minimum wage is $7.25. Workers generally are at the factory a minimum of 81 hours a week. This also takes into account an average 34 hours of time that employees serve. These overtime hours exceed China's maximum limit over 318%, and the hours are only worth 1/4 of normal pay. The public soon backlashed against Foxconn's hours and wages, and the company responded by cutting work hours, but not increasing pay. Therefore, workers already struggling to provide struggling even more. This dramatic cut in wages caused widespread hunger to employees and their families.
Most Foxconn workers die before reaching the age of 50 due to being exposed to harsh gases or having to work with massive machinery. For example, in Foxconn's Apple Incorporated factory, a screen cleaner by the name of hexane is used. Hexane also acts as a neurotoxin. The workers who told reporters about this toxin hands shake uncontrollably. Most of the younger workers, whose ages are 12 to 15, who are put on jobs such as scraping aluminum off Apple logos, suffer immensely from megacarpal tunnel, aka doing the same job over and over has paralyzed their hands. This is a life-changing defect that could have easily been avoided if Apple in particular would have allowed its workers to shift jobs every few hours. Unfortunately, when employees such as these are hurt in the Foxconn facility, Foxconn does nothing to help them. Instead, they fire them and put them on a troublemaker list from which other companies in China will not hire them.
The saddest part of all is that most of these low-paid, hard-working, suicidal laborers of Foxconn say that they've never seen a finished product of what they work on 12 to 15 hours a day. Not only are working and living conditions similar to those of a concentration camp, but the rules and expectations of Foxconn employees are outrageous. For example, if a worker is 1 to 5 minutes late to their workstation, their wage will be cut back anywhere from 4 hours to 2 whole days. Rules also include things like keeping your fingernails properly clipped, not talking, and not raising their hands. Failing to abide by these rules result in loss of job or harsh punishment to the worker.
Foxconn conditions have increasingly gotten worse since 2010 due to consumers demanding more and more products from companies in Foxconn. Young child laborers will continued to be hired unless we consumers step up. More suicides will continue to be attempted in Foxconn complexes each time the demand is raised, because workers know the task that lies ahead.
They go to work, they work a solid shift, they come back to their dormitory, they sleep. It's a very dehumanizing place, and the workers are little more than the machines there.
Be the one who says stop to these outrageous hours, conditions, and wages. Stop Foxconn from being successful the way it is. No one deserves to be treated this way. Every job done should be awarded by the proper dollar amount.
With your help and support, organizations like UNICEF, Fair Labor Trade, and International Labor Organization will help the young workers. They will go in and change these working conditions and set up legal and reasonable hours and wages for the employees and saving them all from possible death.
To learn more about these horrific work sites, visit www.ilo.org/inform or call 122-799-8675 to make a generous donation.